Jong Song Bone Danjiang Boris Seng Nidiok Chusam Ge Wan San Buldo Jung Se Padyok Jinan Om Garajya Sabaha Om Garajya Sabaha Om Garajya Sabaha Would somebody care to take us through the refuge vows? I'll do the roll down. Hangdao, it's yours.
Saranam Gacchami Dhammam Saranam Gacchami Sangam Saranam Gacchami I go in refuge to Buddha. I go in refuge to Dharma. I go in refuge to Sangha. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami Sangam Saranam Gacchami.
All right. So we'll start our 15 minutes of seated meditation. Remain silent and you sink into a realm of shadows. Speak and you fall into a deep pit. All right, let's chant the Gatha on opening the sutras. This Dharma, incomparably profound and minutely subtle, is rarely encountered even in hundreds of thousands of millions of ages. Now we see it, hear it, hold, and maintain it. May we completely realize the true mind of all Buddhas. All right. So tonight we're going to receive the Dharma from our friend from DC, Robert Coho Epstein.
Thank you, Unsan. Well, the Book of Serenity, Shoyoroku, case number 3, reports a conversation between the king of Eastern India during a time when they apparently had plenty of kings, and the 27th Buddhist patriarch, Prajnatara, the teacher of Bodhidharma, who was, of course, the founder of Zen in China. Prajnatara thus had a most important role, as she is the one who sent Bodhidharma to China to spread their special teaching of the Dharma. Prajnatara is often spoken of as a man, but modern research has suggested that she was, in fact, a woman, which is quite exciting given the sometimes, patriarchal view of the masters from beginning to end. I like the idea of the great teacher who first developed Zen and disseminated it to Bodhidharma being a woman. It stands well with today's Western Sangha, in which powerful women teachers have taken their place beside the male teachers and in many cases taught them, as Prajnatara did with Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma is the mean-looking guy who stared at the wall for 9 years to demonstrate Zazen, but Prajnatara apparently was his Dharma mother. Prajnatara was head of the Sarvastivadins. Don't try to pronounce that unless you've warmed up your tongue. But she had her own style of teaching, largely coming from the Lankavatara Sutra, which may sound familiar, as it eventually became her student Bodhidharma's Bible as well. It's reputed to be the only book that he carried with him from India to China, and he held on to it rather tightly on the sea voyage. Prajnatara originally called herself Kayura, which means bracelet or necklace, perhaps named after her meditation beads, and was a renunciate and wanderer who wandered throughout India begging for her food. She became a disciple of Buddhist patriarch Punyamitra and succeeded him. She taught in various areas of India, which is a story for another time and an interesting one. But the story of her discovery of Bodhidharma as her successor is worth noting. The following is quoted from the MT, that's the letters M and T, emptysutra.com, which appears to be a kind of a pun. The emptysutra.com website. Prajnatara was invited to teach in Kanchipuram, the capital of the Pallava dynasty of South India, by the reigning king Simhavarman. I've been doing my tongue exercises today. Bodhitara, the king's youngest son, caught her attention due to his spiritual abilities. That's Bodhitara. After the death of his father, Prajnatara helped him to become a fully ordained monk and gave him the name Bodhidharma. Isn't that fun? She trained him in all aspects of meditation and told him of his karmic affinity with the people of China. So that's the end of the quote. And she instructed him to bring the Dharma to China after her death, which occurred when she was 67 years old. Also of interest is the fact that the appreciation and verification of Prajnatara as an important female teacher which comes partially from archaeological things that have been found and stuff like that, but it was also through the research and scholarship of a monk from the Korean Soto lineage, which is one that I don't hear too much about, via Reverend Koto Benson, a disciple of contemplative Zen master Reverend Jayu Kennett. So we have few records of Prajnatara's direct teaching in India, in the group of which Bodhidharma was a part. And given her deeply steeped knowledge and prolific teaching of Mahayana Buddhism in India and her great role in the birth of the Zen tradition, aka Dhyana Buddhism, anything she might have to say about the appropriate way to view and practice the Zen path would be of great value. And we do have this one story of her direct teaching in the Shoyo Roku, case number 3. So let's take a look at it. It's also worth comparing a couple of translations, although I apologize in advance. Well, actually, I don't have to apologize. I'll cut that note out because I do know who the translators are. So I don't have to apologize for not knowing who the translators are, because I only use 2 translations and I know who translated them, which is not always the case. Let's start with the chosen translation of Yamada Koun, whose own story of awakening is one of my favorites, but that is also for another time. A king of Eastern India invited the 27th patriarch Prajnatara for Buddhist food. The king asked, "Why don't you recite sutras?" Prajnatara said, "My inhalation does not stay in the world of subject or in the world of consciousness. My exhalation does not tangle with the world of objects. Still, I am always reciting millions and millions of scrolls of sutras." Now, this is a little bit of an obscure translation, as much as I like Yamada Koun, but I want to hang on to it because of one thing that he says in there. And here's the other translation that's a little easier to understand from the very familiar Thomas Cleary. A Raja of an East Indian country invited the 27th Buddhist patriarch Prajnatara to a feast. The Raja asked him, "Why don't you read scriptures?" The patriarch said, "This poor wayfarer doesn't dwell in the realms of the body or mind when breathing in, doesn't get involved in myriad circumstances when breathing out. I always reiterate such a scripture, hundreds, thousands, millions of scrolls." And there's another translation, which I don't have at the moment, but which I like, which says that basically that is the recitation of the sutra, that kind of breathing out and breathing in. What I like about the first translation, the second translation is definitely easier to absorb, but he clearly leaves one thing out, which I like, which is when he says that my exhalation does not tangle with the world of objects, the world of objects. So that's a little different than just circumstances. So I like including that. So when we breathe in, the act of inhalation emphasizes the existence of the body and its boundaries. And we have a very strong feeling of, not to make a pun of it, inspiration. The literal meaning of which is to breathe in, not by coincidence. We feel the full energy of the personal self as a physical organism, being fed with billions of molecules of oxygen, which converts our glucose into ATP and makes us want to do things. So the inhalation, in Zen terms, is a rather dangerous phase of the breathing, as it appears to underline the existence of a separate self associated with the animal metabolism. That may be one reason why Zen breath counting traditionally accents the count on the out-breath, letting go of self. So it is a little more difficult to see the in-breath as being completely empty, just as our stomach may not feel so empty right after eating. But the out-breath also has its egoic danger, because when we exhale and let go of the physical self-inflation, we have a tendency to look outward and see the solidity and actuality of the world of multifarious objects. And we tend to see the world of objects as real and expansive and perhaps even endless, postulating a very concrete universe that is in fact made up of objects and into which we participate by breathing out. So perhaps on the out breath, we may be tempted to think that we are just another concrete object in a collection of objects which are out there, and that we are out there too. Funnily enough, when Thich Nhat Hanh was about to pass away and the head monks insisted that they would make a giant stupa as a memorial to their great teacher, the Buddhist memorial mound, he said, if you must make such a monument, it should have a plaque on it that says, I am not in here and I am not out there either, but I am in the footsteps of anyone who walks with mindfulness. So the mindful footstep, which participates in the Dharmakaya, the true Dharmic reality, it may be seen as the true self, but is even that a self? So what is the great Prajnatara's solution to this dilemma of breathing out to solidify, breathing in to solidify the interior self and breathing out to solidify the exterior of the self? She advises us not to dwell in that which is associated with the personal body or mind while breathing in, and not to get involved in all the stuff that's happening in the world, and in Yamada Kuhn's translation, not to get caught up in thoughts and concerns about the world of objects when breathing out. So, if we are not concerned with body and mind when breathing in, and we are not concerned with circumstances and objects when breathing out, what happens to the self? Well, the self is formed of the thought of separation. In fact, Soto Master Suzuki Roshi said, quote, yourself is just a thought in your mind, end quote. Now, leaving aside someone who would want to be cute, and there may be one or two of them even present who would say, yeah, but not even the mind is real. Leaving that aside, that seems like a pretty good thing to notice. And in concrete, practical terms, we can practice it with our breathing, along with Bodhidharma's great teacher, Prajnatara.
Thank you for your teaching, Robert. I'm going to, it's my better judgment probably, I am going to mention the film Bodhidharma Master of Zen. I'm pretty sure it's in there. But Prajnatara makes an entrance in there. There is some I don't know, she had him like build a hut and then let the wind blow it away or something along those lines. I don't know, but Prajnatara is in there, and yes, it's worth watching that film, because Prajnatara is quite the character in there. And
That sounds good.
that's where I'm going to leave it.
I'll check it out.
And if you see it, let me know, and we can talk about that.
You bet.
So anyway, back to our 15 minutes of meditation. Bottomless in depth, boundlessly vast. Foaming waves flood the sky. How can you determine the current of the water? Let's chant the Heart Sutra. Mahaprajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, when practicing deeply the Prajna Paramita, perceives that all five skandhas are empty and is saved from all suffering and distress. Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. That which is form is emptiness. That which is emptiness, form. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness. Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They do not appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. Therefore in emptiness, no form, no feeling, perceptions, impulses, consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no color, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of eyes, and so forth, until no realm of mind consciousness, no ignorance, also no extinction of it, and so forth, until no old age and death, and also no extinction of them, no suffering, no origination, no stopping, no path, no cognition, also no attainment, with nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva depends on Prajna Paramita, and the mind is no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Far apart from every perverted view, one dwells in nirvana. In the three worlds, all Buddhas depend on Prajna Paramita and attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Therefore know that Prajna Paramita, the great transcendent mantra, is the great bright mantra, is the utmost mantra, is the supreme mantra, which is able to relieve all suffering and is true, not false. So proclaim the Prajna Paramita mantra. Proclaim the mantra which says Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Parasamgate, Bodhisvaha, Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Parasamgate, Bodhisvaha, Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Parasamgate, Bodhisvaha. Let's do Venerable Wanji's loving kindness meditation. May I be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May I have a calm and peaceful mind. May I have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May my parents be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May my teachers be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May family members and relatives be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May friends and acquaintances be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May unfriendly people and my enemies be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May unknown persons be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May all beings, with form and without form, visible, invisible, born or coming to birth, large and small, from the highest realm of existence to the lowest, be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. And let's do our personal dedications of merit. All sentient beings are one seamless body and pass quickly from birth to death. We remember those who cared for us and are gone, those who are ill, those who are at war, who are hungry and who are in pain. May they heal and have peace. We especially dedicate our service to Brian Unger, Mike Gingy Wood. Would anyone care to add anyone in?
Hey, Song, Choman, Barry, and Juanita.
Anyone else? You're muted.
One for my brother White Bear, and another for all those suffering from the needless cuts to food aid. Thank you.
Any others? All beings in the 10 directions, subject to the greed, hatred, and delusions of themselves and others. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all honored ones, Bodhisattva, Mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, Mahaprajna Paramita. We'll recite our faith and practice vow. I will never retreat and will be firm in my mind in this correct Dharma. I will escape from the samsaric cycle of birth and death, and definitely will see my original face. I will be sure to inherit the life of insight of the Buddha and save all sentient beings. And Reverend Hengdahl.
The spiritual source shines clearly in the light. The branching streams flow on in the dark. Infinite realms of light and dark convey the Buddha mind. Birds and trees and stars and we ourselves come forth in perfect harmony. We practice and recite this for all beings, in grateful thanks to our many guides along the way.
And the four great Bodhisattva vows. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to help them all. Delusions are countless. We vow to see through them all. Opportunities to awaken are infinite. We vow to embrace them all. The Buddha way is inconceivable. We vow to embody it. Life and death are of supreme importance. Time passes swiftly by and opportunities to awaken are easily lost. So strive to realize your true nature and do not squander your time by night or day.